Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Today we are going to another topics of edge and line detections under Hough Transform. So you can click this one, part 5. All right, so today what we want to do is to find the lines, okay, which a collection of edge point lines. Okay, so before that, maybe I can look at what I have prepared here. So if you try to look at this, okay, suppose each of these X here represent one edge point. So how many lines do you observe here? How many lines? 4, 3. Okay, the numbers could be varies. Some would see the 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, some might even see more than that, right? Because basically, if there are 2 points, then you can actually connect the 2 points with a straight line. Okay, I must emphasize now we are talking about straight line. We're not talking about any curve. So I add here a straight line. Okay, so we are talking about detecting straight line here. Okay, now, of course, the individual edge points is important, okay, because they are the basis of a straight line. So whenever you have 2 points, okay, each point practically you can connect them to form a straight line. However, okay, whether the line is visible or dominant or clear, okay, depends on the number of edge point on the line. Like for example, you notice the 4 main lines here because they have more edge points, okay, and compared to the line which is not so visible, okay, although, yeah, you can say that they exist, but they are not so visible. So it's very much dependent on the edge points on the line. Okay, so what we want to do here is we want to detect the lines, okay, formed by the edge points. All right, so in order to do the detections, of course, we need to represent the line. Previously, you have learned how to represent line by using y equal mx plus c. You still remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, y equal mx plus c. But for this purpose, we are not going to use this type of equation. We're going to use another equation called rho equal to r cos theta plus c sin theta. Okay, suppose this is a RC plane. So, and this is your line. So we represent by means of 2 parameters. Like mx plus c, you have m and c, right? You have your slope and also the intersection with y-axis c. Here we have 2 parameters, which is the angle in relative to the vertical axis r, okay, in anti-clock direction, and also rho, which is the distance, okay, from the origins perpendicular to the line of your interest. All right. So so let's go to now. How do we actually detect line? All right. If you look at this, okay, let's focus on this figure first. Suppose you have 3 edge points. Okay, so we want to find the lines formed by these 3 edge points. So our approach is basically to list all the lines that pass through these points. Okay, for example, for the point 20, so we list the edge points in 90 degree, negative 90 degree, negative 45 degree, 0 degree. So we list all the lines of different directions, okay, different orientations, okay, from negative 90 all the way to 90 degree. So we give a full cycle. All right, so we list all of them, and you will notice that there is one line, okay, which actually pass through all the three. Okay, so this is the table which lists, okay, the equations of the lines which pass through them. So following this equation, so we start with negative 90. So every time I increase 45 degree, this is actually a parameters. In actual computation, of course, we don't use such a big resolution. You have negative 90, negative 89, but in exam, usually it's not practical to do that. So ask you to use the resolutions of 45 degrees. So negative 90, negative 45, 0, and 45. Everybody, are you with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right. So then from there, we try to solve for the row. I'll show you how to solve for that. So this pair of rho and theta, the rho and also theta, represents a line, okay, of different direction. 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line. Okay, so negative 90, negative 45, 0 degree, 45 degree. So I want to show you that if you try to list them, okay, all these 3 points, all the lines of different orientations that pass through them, you will notice that there is one line which exists in the 3 table, which is 45 degree, 1.5. And what is this equation? This is the equation of this line, 45 degree, which pass through all the 3 points. And that actually tells us that this is the line that we are looking for. And this is the equation of the line that pass through, formed by these 3 edge points. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
All right. So
Yes,
what
sir.
we do usually is for each of the edge point, we list all the lines with different orientation which pass through them. And then we try to compile them in a big table like this. Okay, 2, 0. Okay, so we have negative 90, 0. All right, pass through 2, 0. And then we have negative 45, 1.5. Okay, pass through 2.0. And then we have 0 degree 2, pass through 2.0. And 45, 1.5, pass through 2.0. And then we do the same for 1, 1. So negative 190. So negative 190. And then negative 45 degrees 0. Negative 45 degrees 0, pass through 0.11. And then we do the same for 0, 2. All right, 0.02, negative 90, negative 2. So here, and we do this, and then eventually we'll find that this particular cell here, which corresponds to the equations of line where theta is 45 degree and the rho is 1.5, pass through 3 edge points. All right, so then this is the equations of the line that we are looking for, which pass through, you know, at least like 3 edge point, 4 edge point, which is actually depending on the parameters. All right, so that will be the equations that we are looking for. Are you following?
Yes, sir.
All right, so for the final answers will be, we are looking for okay, 1, where is my row? Oh, so the final answer is, so you just need to replace the rho with 1.5 and then theta with, what's the angle? 45 degree, yeah?
Yes.
So this is the equation that passed through the 3 edge point. Okay, so far, okay, I will go into the example. All right. This is the final answer.
Okay, sir.
This is the equation. Okay, 1.5 equal to r cos 45 c cos 45, which pass through the 3h point. Okay, so if you have no questions, we'll go into the sample questions, page 5. So this is how the question looks like in your test. So you'll be given image with this 1 represents the H point, 0 non-H point, and you are required to look for the equation. Okay, release the equation for each of the straight lines formed by at least 3 H point. All right, so you need to look for the cell which contain 3 H point using Hough transform. Okay, so the setting is the row must be 0.5. So that's why you see here in this case the row, the increment is 0.5. All right, because you need to do this in computer and everything must be digitized. So you need to have a definite number here. So that's why to digitize it, you need to set the resolution. So typical setting for exam will be 0.5 and your degree 45 degree, so that you have very few to calculate. Otherwise, because you are not machines, but for machines usually we will have like 1 degree, and the row will be 0.1, so that we have a final resolution. So I'm going to discuss what is the effect of resolution later on. But here now let's look at the first example. All right, so we're going to give you the table 1, which is the values of cos theta and sine theta. So you don't have to memorize them. Okay, so to begin with the answer, so as we have looked at this, you have to list for all the H point, each of the H point, you have to list the equations of line of different orientation, different degrees here, and find their row. So in this case, we have the first point. What is the first point? 1, 0. This is the point. Okay, row 0, row 1. Okay, column 0. So 1, 0. So means in this case, your R is 1, your C is 0. Nampak ni kan? R and C. Everybody, are you following?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, so for each of the point, so this point here, 1, 0, so the R is 1, the C is 0. And after that, all this number negative 90, sine negative 90 is 0, cos negative 90 is 0, sine negative 90, negative 1. All right, so this is how you proceed. Everybody, are you okay? And then negative 45 again, so the square root 2 divided by 2, negative square root 2 divided by 2. All right, so this one, 1 of this minus this, you don't have to really need calculator. This one you just treat it as 1x minus plus 0x, so it's 1x, so square root 2 divided by 2. So square root 2 divided by 2 basically is 0.7. So please pay, you have to round them to the nearest scale. See, our step size is 0.5, right? So if you look at the 0.5, the next scale is 0.0 and then followed by 0.5 and then 1.
1.
Okay, if you calculate square root 2 divided by 2, you get 0.7. So 0.7 round to 0.5 or 0 or 1? 0.7.
0.5.
It's closer to 0.5, correct? So therefore you round it to 0.5. All right, same goes here. This one, nothing much, 1. And again, you encounter this rounding very often. So most of the time, either round to 0.5 or round to 1.5. Okay. Next, you have point 2.1. All right. So again, this one, nothing much. Here, this one, 2x minus x, 2x plus 1 times negative x. So x is your square root 2 divided by 2. So 2 minus 1 become 1. Are you following? You don't really need a calculator. All right. So
Yes, sir.
So again, round to 0.5. This one,
Mm.
nothing. So look at this, 2 plus 1. So 3, isn't it? So 3 square root 2 divided by 2. So 0.7 times 3, so 2.1. So 2.1 round to
2.0.
0.0. Same goes here, nothing much here. This one you can do the calculation easily. This one too. Look, this one 3x plus 2x, so 5x. So 5 times 0.7, which is 3.5. So round to 3.5. Actually, you have 0.70 something. So when you multiply, you get 3 point something. So round to 3.5. And then you use the big table. Okay, so you start to put all the points in. Like start with this one, 1, 0. So negative 90, 0. Negative 90, 0, pass through point 0. And what else? Negative 45, 0.5. Negative 45, 0.5. 1, 0. And then 0 degree, 1.
1.
0 degree, 1.
1.
Pass through point 1, 0. And
Yeah.
last but not least, not yet for this point, 45 degree, 0.5. So 45
Yes.
degree, 0.5. Pass through point 1, 0. So you get something like this. And then for 2, 1, if you do repeat the same thing, you'll get something like this.
Yes.
And then for 3, 2, you get something like this. And then do you see the intersection point, which is negative 45, 0.5. So that will be your final answer. So the equation which formed by at least 3 H points. So you look for cell with at least 3 H points. So this one. All right. So the final answer is 0.5 equal to R cos negative 45, C sine negative 45. Everybody, are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay. I'll go for the second example. The third one, I'll leave it for your own self-study. Okay, second example. So again, the same thing. You are going to look for a line formed by at least 3 H points. All right. So again, for the first point, list 1, 0. This one is 1, 1, and 1, 2. So list for 1, 0, 1, 1, and 1, 2. Okay, again, this one, you based on this table, you're going to calculate them. So the rho and cost, the R and C, according to each point. In this case, the R is 1, the cost is, the C is 0. So then again, you work them out. All right. I have explained about the rounding. So maybe this one. So 1x plus 1x, so you get 2x. So 2x basically means you get square root 2, which is 1.414. So you round to 1.5. All right. So the rest is pretty much the same like before. All right. Then again, you try to compile them into one big table. So again, eventually you will find that this particular cell, which represents the line equations, 1 equal to R cos 0 degree plus C sine 0 degree. This is the one that passed through at least 3 H point. Do you have any questions so far?
No, sir.
No,
Yes, anyone having any questions? Please feel free to ask.
So the last
Last.
answer is the one with the.
This one.
So in exam we need to write that one.
Yes, of course. This is the whole answer. Most students, they forget. They will just do either this one without step 2, or they do step 2 and then without the last answer. This one will easily cost you like 20% of the total marks, because eventually the question is asking you to look for the equation. So we are looking for the equation.
Okay, sir.
So far so good.
Good, sir.
Okay, right. So this is number 2. Number 3 also the same. So we have 3 examples here. So please have a look. Again, I must emphasize you don't really need calculator for this. The most important, you know how to do the rounding. Just take it as your x. So 1x plus 1x become 2x. And square root 2 multiply with 2, you get square root 2. Now, square root 2 is 1.4 something, round to 1.5. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So everything is fine?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. So can we have a break, and then maybe we can call for another meeting, like say at what is time convenient to you, 11:30, or so that we can cover another topics, because there is a time limit for Zoom, because this is a free version, so maximum like 40 minutes.
Is it there, sir?
Sorry? Today, because actually we are supposed to have class at 10 to 2, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let me stop the recording.